Hi everyone, welcome back to HLS. We are meeting again today for the SLFRS 15 or IFRS 15, determination of transaction price, the third video of non-cash consideration. Today the third component of the transaction price determination, the non-cash consideration we will discuss about. So what is non-cash consideration? Anything other than cash. The consideration can be shares or piece of land or building or a motor vehicle, whatever it is, it's going to be the non-cash consideration. How we are going to account for it or how we are going to determine the transaction price is our discussion. So non-cash consideration, the standard specifies that any non-cash consideration, fair value has to be taken. For any non-cash consideration, the fair value has to be ascertained. That should be in accordance with IFRS 13 or SLFRS 13. So IFRS 13 and SLFRS 13 we will be discussing at a later stage in detail. But today, for our discussion purposes, I am going to take only the 2 points which is necessary for this non-cash consideration determination of transaction price. One is the market participants' assumptions. The fair value, as you know, that it is a market specific valuation. That means market participants has to assess those values based on certain assumptions in an orderly transaction. So the entity, this means the entity, whoever is determining the transaction price, has no say in the fair value. If the entity's opinion or entity's intention is not considered for the decision of fair value. So the fair value is an independent assessment of the goods or services or the non-cash consideration, whatever is being considered for this transaction price. So the second one is the measurement date. The fair value has to be ascertained on a measurement date. So who decides the measurement date? Your standard doesn't give you any specific guidance on this. This means that the entity has to place its judgment. And it can take, there are 3 dates available. One is the contract date, the date on which you sign the contract and you enter the contract, or the date on which the non-cash consideration is received by the entity. That means the entity is receiving or getting the control over the non-cash consideration. If it is shares or land or building, whatever it is, it becomes after the consideration, after the transaction price has been recognized as revenue, the consideration, the non-cash consideration becomes your asset. That means entity's asset. So the asset has to be controlled by them. So the control has to pass on to the entity. On that date also they can measure the fair value, or the date on which the performance obligation is satisfied to the customer. So these 3 can be taken for judgment, and based on the facts and circumstances, the entity can decide on the measurement date. So on the measurement date, the fair value is being assessed by the market participants, and on the measurement date, what you do? That you take the fair value entered in your books as a non-cash consideration receivable. It depends on the performance obligations being satisfied. You have to satisfy the performance obligation to recognize revenue. So the fair value is taken on the measurement date to consider the transaction price, to determine the transaction price. So the measurement date is taken based on the judgment of the entity. But after the measurement date, if there is any fair value changes, that is not considered or taken into or included into the transaction price. It is not taken into. So you know the transaction price, the next step will be allocated to the performance obligation. And the performance obligations has to be satisfied for you to recognize the revenue. So further 2 steps are there. So to determine the transaction price, you have to take the fair value. The fair value will be based on the market participants' assumptions and the measurement date on which that you are going to assess the fair value and taken into the transaction price, taken to the contract. So now where fair value has been ascertained and we have done it like this. Suppose we are not been able to get the fair value. We are not been able to ascertain the fair value for so many other reasons. What happens? Then the standard says, if there is no fair value, then take the standalone selling prices of goods and services subject to the contract. Whatever the goods and services that you have included in the contract, take the standalone selling prices and treat that as your consideration for non-cash consideration. You can take it. So we will see some examples, then you will understand how we are going to ascertain this. Then one more point I would like to tell you. The non-cash consideration, you have to be careful if there is any barter transactions. That doesn't come in SLFRS 5 or IFRS 5. It doesn't come in there. Non-monetary exchanges, that is the barter transactions, are not included in the SLFRS 15. So if there is any kind of transactions, you should exclude that from SLFRS 15. Now we will see some examples. Now we see this example. It's a simple example. There's a real estate developer R. He enters into a contract with the customer M to sell a unit in a retirement village. This project will take 3 years. This project is going to take 3 years. So R will receive an upfront, the consideration will be an upfront payment of $20,000 plus M's existing house. M is occupying the house now. He is going to give that house on completion of the retirement unit. He gives it, sell it to him. So this is the consideration. So when will M's existing house, when he is going to give? On completion of the unit. M is going to give his house on the completion of unit and 20,000 upfront. So until such time, M will occupy the house and retain all the rights. He is living in that house. Then R concludes. Now R has to make a decision on the transaction price and the measurement date. He has to decide those things. So R is concluding control of unit transferred at the completion of unit. When the unit is completed, what he is intended to sell it to M only transfers when the performance obligation is satisfied, that is at the end of completion of the unit, that is at the end of 3rd year. So he thinks that it is appropriate to measure the non-cash consideration also at that date, at the date when he satisfies the performance obligation. because until such time the control is not passed on to the real estate developer. So that's how it works. So you remember, again I am reminding you, when the non-cash consideration is measured and recognized as a revenue, it becomes the entity's asset. It becomes the entity's asset and it's taken care of the normal PPE standard. After that there is no revenue. Revenue recognition is over when the non-cash consideration is finalized, measured and recognized in the revenue. So you have to be careful. These points are very important, and we will see another example which will help you to understand the principles further. We will see another example. Here a production company Y sells its TV show to a TV company X. So he decides the consideration. It was agreed by both parties. The consideration is $1,000 plus 100 advertising slots free. 100 advertising slots. So this 100 advertising slots is a non-cash consideration. So you have to ascertain the fair value. Y again determines standalone selling price will be $1,500. That is, if he is not giving this 100 advertising, he is not taking the fair value of the 100 advertising slots, then the standalone selling price will be $1,500. So he ascertained the fair value. The fair value is $600. It's $600. So now Y determines the transaction price will be 1,600. Suppose the fair value is not ascertained or unable to ascertain a fair value for this 100 advertising slots, the transaction price will be $1,500. Who decides? Y determines. Y means the entity, that production company. So this is another example. So there will be one more example I would like to tell you, so that will be easy for you to understand the principles. Here is another simple example. Company A enters into a contract with Company B to provide payroll services for a year, for 1 year. This contract is signed on 1/1/21, we'll say. So the consideration decided was by the parties 100 shares per week into 52 weeks, 5,200 shares of B. B is going to give you. That is the consideration B is paying you for the services. So how we are going to enter this? In January, these are the market prices of the shares at the end of each week, because we are going to recognize revenue each week when the payroll services are completed. Weekly payroll services he is going to give. So every week when the payroll services are finished, they recognize revenue. So at this time that you have earned the revenue, then when whether the shares have been received or receivable, you have to accommodate that. So first week it is $1,000, second week $1,100, third week $1,200, fourth week $1,300, shares debit and revenue credit. And these dates, measurement dates, are at the end of every week. So this will get repeated for every 48 weeks. So yes, 52 weeks. These 4 weeks we have taken. So balance 48 weeks. You have to do it. This exercise will be done every month. You ascertain the weekly share prices. After taking into, if there is any fair value changes, of the share prices. That is not revenue recognition. It doesn't affect your transaction price. It won't affect your transaction price. Any fair value changes afterwards will be taken care of as a financial asset. IFRS 9 will take care of it. Then you know how to classify those financial assets. You have to go in accordance with that after the recognition of revenue or after the measurement of your transaction price, fair value. So I hope I have explained to you clearly the principles underlying this non-cash consideration. Be careful, your examiner might confuse you, but if you are clear, no one can confuse you. If you are clear in your principle, nobody can confuse, so you can perform well in your examination, whatever the examination that you are preparing for. So we will meet again on the next video for the fourth component, that is payment to the customers. Until then, take care. Good luck.